Well, folks, get the
Please
frick up. It's Tuesday, y'all. Get up! It's time for Dork Discourse. In case you weren't already up, for some of you, if you are tuning in from across the globe, over in Europe, our friends, some of you might be asleep and haven't woke up just for this, in which case, frick yes.
Yes,
Get
shout out
the
to you.
frick up. Rally. Everybody else, it's still evening, unless you're Alice. It's the future, and it's midday. Let's go, squad's here. Tom's on time. He gets Chopper's here too. Frick, y'all.
Chopper.
That's how you know we can have a freaking party, y'all. We are in the presence of royalty. Oh my gosh. I'm sure many of you guys, if you're on Star Wars Twitter, follow Chop, Star Wars Twitter famous up in here, and they have crossed over to YouTube, the darker corner of the internet. Well, actually, no, not at this rate. At this rate, anything's lighter than
The
Twitter.
internet is what you want to make of it.
True.
There's darkness and lightness to find everywhere on the internet. But here we like to be a source of back and forth light and dark. Combating
Yeah,
each
that's
other.
what this is.
The discourse.
That's what this whole podcast is about. So welcome. Got some member streams right out of the gate from Jerry, member for 32 months. Holy shnikes, let's go. Hey, Kat and Tom, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Royalty, oh my gosh, you're honoring me. You honor me, Chop. Listen, I'm like fangirling.
Yeah, we're fully on the Chop train because we've been rewatching Ahsoka.
We have been.
So
notice the background for today with World Between Worlds.
Yeah.
And we had a chat up and early from Mike Hill, member for 32 months as well.
Mike!
Holy shnikes, thank you so much, Mike. And this is actually a great topic because I wanted to ask you guys and kind of put a feel out, dip my toe into the Daredevil realm. Can somebody educate me? Firstly, thank you, Mike. Hey, Kat, I'll stay for an hour and then I'm going to go get ready for Daredevil. Is the new show, I assume, premiering? It's a series, correct? It is a follow-up series from, there was a Netflix. Somebody break it down for me, because every time I mention to folks in our demographic that I've not watched Daredevil, the Netflix one, it was originally a Netflix production, or did it start on some like cable platform?
I have no idea.
We have no clue. I don't know why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't look at me because I have no clue.
Will know, but should I watch the original show? I mean, it would be very, I don't know if it would be lackluster necessarily, because the new, very long awaited, I feel like, from what I've seen, this sequel series that is coming out on Disney Plus, correct?
Yep.
It's been a while.
There's posters all over the place.
Yes, it's been a couple of
Here in LA,
years.
so.
Before we get to that, while you guys help us solve the mystery of Daredevil, member for 41 months, Josh, let's get it.
Josh!
Hey, Kat, can't stay for the whole stream, but just want to say congrats again on hitting 60K. I might be sending you some of my artwork. Please freaking do.
Awesome.
I am really good at drawing stick figures. Take care. I don't even care. I should also have expressed this in my video that I made, the announcement, which if you haven't watched it and you have no idea what I'm talking about, to celebrate what should have been the 50K subscriber milestone celebration, but I procrastinated too long, so now it is the 60K subscriber milestone appreciation celebration. I can't believe I got that out in one go, but if you want to submit, this is the time that we showcase everyone in this community and we all react, and I'll be here filming my reaction, you know, sharing my thoughts, highlighting your, as Joshua said, artwork, or if you're a writer. We've already had some really interesting submissions so far, and it's only been like one day.
Nice. That's awesome.
If you're a video editor, musician, I think I already said the athlete, and I mentioned gamer, yes, stand-up comedian. Like I mentioned in the video, this is your time to share your talents, your special skills, your expertise, whatever it is. But I guess I should go on the record and say you don't have to be a master at whatever it is. If you're like learning an instrument or something and you're like, you know what, frick it, I want to share this clip of me playing the clarinet. I don't think I'm that great, but here it is. Frickin' power to you, and we will cheer you the frick on. This does not have to be, oh, I'm a master graphic designer, here's my stuff. It can literally be, hey, I have ambitions to be a video editor, and here's one of the first pieces I did. Like, so thank you, Josh, actually, for pointing that out. I don't know if that was your intention, but you can be at any skill level, whatever it is you want to do. Please feel free, send it in, but that always goes with saying, there's no pressure. It's a great time for everybody who also were just watching, so feel free, send regardless of your skill or confidence level.
And how do people submit stuff? For those watching who might not have seen your video announcing it?
It is darthpadme66@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That is the submission email.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta catch up on some...
Also, nice sweatshirt. Daddy Josh noticed it.
Yeah, McBots merch. Tom's channel, y'all.
McBots sweatshirt. You're looking particularly great this stream.
Retro is here, Sal's here, Colin W18. Okay, here we go. Chopper, thank you for the explanation. The Netflix Daredevil show has excellent writing, choreography is top tier, and don't even get me started on the one-shot fight sequences. You would love it. This is what I have heard, that it is impeccable. Is he a superhero, anti-hero, gray hero? I don't really know where he falls in the lore, the Marvel, because he is MCU, is he not? I keep looking at you for help, and neither of us know what the frick.
He was in No Way Home.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is he, like, MCU adjacent? The way that, like, Deadpool and Logan are?
I don't know, but he's in
I
Marvel Disney projects, so whatever that counts for.
So, out of curiosity, are people I don't want to say concerned, but are people curious about whether or not there might be a tone change since it's being produced now by Disney Plus instead of Netflix, which I would say Netflix usually has much darker levels, darker themes, more mature. I was reminiscing on that the other day, honestly, with the transformation from the animated to live action Avatar: The Last Airbender, just how violent they made it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking about that recently, but...
Because they announced the new animated show, perhaps?
Maybe. Alice puts it perfectly. You know me, I don't like Marvel, but one of the few exceptions is Daredevil. It's a must-watch. He is MCU now, says Ty. The Netflix show has been confirmed to be in the MCU. Okay. A hero who is very Batman-like, says Sal, has heightened senses that make up for his blindness. That is the one element about him that I knew only from No Way Home. Long time no see. What's up, Richard Taylor? Thanks for being here. I'm hearing it's pretty akin to the OG series, says Sal. Okay. Y'all will have to follow back and attest to it. I guess if the first episode's coming out from the new one.
Yep.
I was worried about the violence and the tone being held back in this new one, but based off the trailers, it still looks very violent and gritty, which is what we want. Yes. Y'all will have to regroup and confirm. It's in good hands. That's right, John Bernthal. He wouldn't have touched it if they did Punisher wrong. True. And John Bernthal is incredible, actually. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet. Or I gotta watch that too. I'm very behind. John Pitts is here. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great and awesome day.
Thank you, John. You
Waiting
too.
for Daredevil. I guess I should have themed the Daredevil stream, because I admittedly was very interested. I would be interested in watching it because I know it has a very diehard audience, and everyone I've heard says that you have to. Every time I confess that I've never seen it, people are like, ugh.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll add that. It's a great show, says Patrick. Okay. Thank you for chiming in and for sending. I got your submission for the 60K celebration bright and early.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. Shout out to everyone. We had a good first crop of folks sending their stuff in after just one day. But in light of Daredevil, I'll have to go. I want to maybe film some reactions, but I have no freaking time between now and celebration. It's crunch time, y'all. We're already T+, T-.
We are T- 6 weeks to celebration.
It doesn't even. It feels less than that, honestly. I guess it's because my headspace is like, as soon as April hits, it's celebration mode.
Yeah, so it's full tilt focus on celebration for the next 6-ish weeks.
Gotta get locked in.
We're both going. We're gonna be there. We're gonna have as much content as we can get out for you guys. Have some vlogs, and for other people that are going, we'll have You can participate in the vlogs if you wish. We can have like Q&A and meetups and greets.
Peace out, prick, to Daddy Josh and Josh. The two Joshes heading out simultaneously. We'll catch you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And then your jacket endeavor. For those who don't know, Kat here is an artiste, and she is making some custom hand-painted jackets that we'll be wearing at Celebration, and they will be up for custom ordering on her website very soon in the near-term future. So,
and honestly, they might be for sale after we wear them. You could maybe we'll have to see if we're feeling. We might sell, you know, the ones that we currently have that we're gonna wear to Celebration, but they might be up for sale as well if anyone is that interested, and doesn't mind that they're pre-worn by us. But yes, I spent today working on the design. The next one is gonna be Anakin on Mustafar with his Sith eyes, with his cloak. Hooded Sith Anakin.
Excellent. Excellent.
So yes,
that will be getting signed by Hayden Christensen. So.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot about that. Pressure's on. I gotta take that thought and purge it from my mind, because if I remember that, I'm gonna be like perfectionist about it. But yes, I do not believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Charlie is very knowledgeable when it comes to Celebration, because he's usually always texting me, reminding me like, remember, the lines open, the queue opens for signings and photo ops in like 5 minutes, go. And as I said, when we booked the Hayden Christensen tickets, it would not have been without Charlie, because you were up in this chat early, mentioning that you were already in the queue, and I didn't even know that you could go get into the queue before it even opened. So if it weren't for you, Charlie, that we probably wouldn't have been that successful. So
shout out Charlie.
Perhaps you would have jackets available via a bid. Maybe. Oh, true. Or something for a good cause. That's actually not a bad idea, Eric. Not a bad idea at all. We are meeting Hayden Shop. We are. We're going to do Hayden photo op and signing. And then Hayden and Rosario, Anakin Ahsoka, dual photo. So we're going to get our fix. But we're also going to meet the one and only freaking Sam Witwer, y'all. I'm equally freaking excited about that. Oh, God, I'm going to die. I'm going to be on Cloud 9 the entirety of... I'm going to be at the end of my fuse, y'all. Like, burning the candle at all ends, because we're going to go ham for Celebration. And then come right back, and then I got 3 episodes of Andor. The premiere is going to drop. We're going to be jet lagged. We're not going to know what time it is. Eric poses a good question that I've seen a lot of people actually debating on Twitter, and we can get into today, because the whole theme for tonight was to, again, I don't think they've confirmed. I saw the rumored, but that was not from an official, I don't know if that was an official Star Wars affiliated account I sent to you that tweet about, here's a preliminary list of some of the maybe rumored.
The panels?
Yes.
I don't think it's rumored. I think that's a confirmed panel.
That's legit. Pull it back up.
I think so.
Is it? But I can't find anything about that on the actual Celebration website, but I don't really fully know how to navigate that website.
No?
So. Hayden is so nice, says Chop. I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm so jealous of this trip of yours. Don't worry, we're going to be vlogging the living daylights out of it. I'm probably going to have a camera strapped to me for freaking every second of the day. I'm gonna have to free up storage on my freaking phone, because we're gonna just get so much footage, photos, evidence of us living our best life. And you've got to scream Kenobi at Sam. Oh god. I know. I'm trying not to like stress about like, oh my god, what do I say to them? But maybe that's not the right attitude to have, because I'll just get up in front of them and word vomit in the moment. Kat would have a seizure if Portman showed up. Oh gosh, y'all. I really don't think she would. I don't know if, my honest opinion, I don't know if Celebration was really her thing. The only thing I could think that would lure her there would be something like a Revenge of the Sith anniversary panel.
No, that's not enough.
It's not enough.
Just that is not enough to get Natalie Portman at Celebration.
Well, there were all those rumors that there were going to be Padme appearances in Ahsoka Season 2.
Yeah. The only shot she shows up is if she is in a future project. If it's just the Revenge of the Sith anniversary panel, there's no shot she shows up.
Especially since Revenge of the Sith like wasn't even her peak Like, for me, it's Attack of the Clones and Padme. Revenge of the Sith, I'll never forgive what they did to her freaking character and the fact that she only got, like, 13 minutes of screen time total, if that. So it's not even like Revenge of the Sith is her hallmark, you know, film. In my opinion, like, she has way more going for her in Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, so...
Yeah, and the Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary was in Anaheim in 2022, literally right where she lives.
Listen, she's also booked and busy. She is like...
She no-showed for that.
She's always filming. She's always filming. She's always got a project in the queue. The day we see Natalie Portman back in Star Wars is the day I can die happy. Chop, you are preaching my gospel, because I can't even fully do a deep dive into this, but the Padme erasure in Star Wars as of late. I already went on a tangent about this like 2 weeks ago when I was venting about Kenobi and how I'll never forgive them because that would have been the one and only acceptable freaking time to give us a Padme mother freaking name drop. They couldn't even effing do... Oh god, y'all, I'm seething.
Teased her. It would have been weird if Obi-Wan said the name.
No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah, it would have been.
Why the frick? Do you think her parents never told her, hey, you're You don't think so?
No, I don't think so at all. No.
Why? It's not like they were strangers. Bail was like besties with Padme.
No, they would not have told them.
Why? Oh,
Luke didn't know. Yes, for their own safety. Luke didn't know until Vader told him to his face.
But nobody knew.
And then Luke
it
only
wasn't public knowledge that Padme was Anakin's flame.
I think it was probably easily deducible.
No!
Padme dies and Anakin dies, and there's no one to sit there and claim and be the father. And then these kids, I mean, they said the kids died. They didn't know the kids survived, so they hid the fact that the kids died. No! Leia has no idea that Padme is her mother until sometime in the original trilogy time frame.
I have always freaking said this when it comes to Padme being very visibly, obviously pregnant in Revenge of the Sith, and how nobody mysteriously, like, how does she get around? She's a public figure who has a bajillion assistants and people, like, waiting on her, serving her. How the frick does she operate for 9 months? I guess however many months that you show during pregnancy, I wouldn't know, but how do you operate for that long undercover? Nobody asking you, like, oh my god, congratulations, like, I didn't even know you were in a relationship or have a partner, or like, what are you doing? Not saying you have to have a partner to, you can, there are ways now that you can, there are ways you can do anything nowadays. All I'm saying is, it always boggles my brain that that she was able to go that long. She was able to just continue operating, continue serving in the Senate, nobody questioning, like, oh, like, do you mind me asking who the father of your child is? Or like, hey, want to go on a double date?
That's rude.
No, it's not. If you had a coworker
and you said, "Oh, who's the dad?" That's weird.
But if they're under the assumption that she's single, and then she rolls in visibly showing a pregnant belly one day.
That's even worse because it was some one-night stand and she was not practicing proper safe sex. That's embarrassing. That's even worse.
I guess, yeah, so no. In the public eye for her.
The answer is no. Obi-Wan was correct to not tell Leia when she's 10 years old who the name of her mother is or the name of her father, just like Luke didn't know because Obi-Wan never told him. Luke only found out because his robotic, limbless, asthmatic, masked father revealed it to him. And then Luke, in Return of the Jedi, reveals it to Leia.
Retro. Freaking thank you. Okay, first off, I want to address Eric Z. make a really good point. Her gowns, her dresses were designed to hide her pregnancy. You're not wrong, and even Anakin himself rolled in when they were reunited in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith and embraced her, and he couldn't even tell. She had to tell him. He didn't even... You would think... I don't know, I would like to hope that if you disappeared for however many months and came back...
Went to war?
You would notice. But he still didn't.
She was wearing like a full
she had
like
a cloak.
Carpet.
She had.
It was more like a cloak. It was a full carpet.
Yes. Yes.
Like enormous carpet, giant, fluffy, super padded rug. But probably to hide her pregnancy.
Retro makes her. The title of the stream is so not fitting. Somebody logs in to be like, oh, they're talking about like
this all goes back to
channel?
Celebration because it started with this Natalie Portman going to show up. And I found the panel list.
Before,
there's no official announcement of this panel list,
yes.
so it's speculation.
It's speculation. That's why I wanted to just chat tonight of what we think. You know, hopefully, again, nothing has been revealed as of yet that there would be a Revenge of the Sith anniversary panel, but how the frick could there not be? There must be. I'll be very visibly upset if there isn't. But Retro, thank you. Put it freaking perfectly. Quote, this is all Obi-Wan had to freaking say to Leia, and he wouldn't have to reveal her genealogy. Quote, you remind me of someone I once knew. Leia. Oh, you remind me of someone I once knew, Leia. Her name was Padme, a senator for Naboo, and she had a secret affair. Oh, secret affair with my apprentice. Then I got paranoid and killed her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obi-Wan's gonna tell that to a 10-year-old.
Get rid of the last part.
Leia's not an idiot.
He totally could have said that first part. You remind me of one of my best friends, Padme. Because they were tight. They were besties. They were a trio.
That's too... Leia is smart. That's too revealing. In the context of that conversation, it's about parenting. And they're pretending to be father and daughter. If he drops that, that's going to paint a picture of Leia and be like, oh, was that my mom? And then what's he going to sit there and say, no. But she had a secret affair with my apprentice who then brutally killed her? No, it's painting too big of a picture. So anyway, Natalie Portman will not show up at Celebration Japan unless she is in a Star Wars project. And they're going to announce her return.
But we already...
But I don't think they're going to.
No, we had this discussion, and I really don't think there's room for... I will take this. I am ride or die. If there was ever a time to bring Padme back, it was in Kenobi. Or not even bring her back, but have more allusions to her. Just name drop her. I will go to my grave saying this, but I think the Padme erasure has been unforgivable. Even some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. That poster that went viral, I'm sure you saw some of this discourse. Somebody dropped a very sick poster for the Revenge of the Sith theatrical re-release. It was like an artist's, illustrated poster.
Oh, the official poster?
Not official, but it was
because the official poster was sick.
It was
last week.
No, this was like an artist's rendering, graphic design, illustrated, and it had literally everyone in the cast except for Padme. I gotta freaking find it so that I can show y'all.
Well, to your point, in Revenge of the Sith, she does a lot of sitting around the house, being super pregnant.
Yes.
And dying. I mean, her moment is at the end when she has the emotional scenes with Obi-Wan and then obviously on Mustafar and then giving birth. But like you said, her role is...
Oh, I'm never going to be able to find this.
Smaller than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. For sure.
Yeah, no, literally. Like the downgrade.
But she's on like the official movie poster and the DVD cover and all that stuff from back in the day. Like she's marketed as... She still has a big role. She's the mother and her husband is now Darth Vader and now doesn't have any limbs and his Darth Vader is born literally in parallel with her dying and the kids are being born. And it's one of the most poetic moments in cinema history. So she still has a big role, but a totally different role than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, where she's actually involved in the fight.
This was it. Shout out to Reddit. Can I screen share this?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Let me make this full screen.
Now I see.
What am I doing? Gonna quickly full screen, y'all. This is the poster in question. And listen, I am an artist myself, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form doing this to like bash the person who made this. This is sick. The entire composition, everything, the technical skill. I love, this kind of pyramid here. I love, General Grievous.
Little world between worlds in there.
Yeah, like this is great in every way, shape, or form, and it's hype, and it's getting me stoked. Oh yes, it was teased as a poster for Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. That's right, when they dropped. So truly, I want to reiterate, I
think this is one of the badge art.
Oh, you might be right. You might be right. Like this is hype. This is incredible. if I had to pick one qualm, why the frick is there no freaking Padme? I'm sorry.
Well, it's very war-centric. Every single person on here is holding a lightsaber, except for the clones and the droids. So it's very symmetric in that way. You have the left side, you have the Republic. I guess when you're looking at it, it's this way. That side, you've got the Jedi Temple, the clones, the Venator, the Jedi Starfighters, blue lightsabers. On the right side, you have the Separatists. You got the battle droids, the Separatist capital ship, and the what the hell are those? The droid starfighters, whatever those droid IDs are. And then you've got the Jedi and Grievous and Dooku and Anakin and Palpatine right up the go. It's like, it's very war centric.
It is.
If you were to throw Padme in there, it would throw off the tone and the message of this poster. That's like the official one for the re-release. It's literally Anakin, Vader, and that's it. And Mustafar on the official one.
Yeah, where's the official one? We're literally doing anything but... No, this is relevant because we're talking about... this is the re-release one, correct?
Yeah.
It might not let me open it because it's on X.
Why couldn't you open it?
Because it's going to make me log into X, and I'm not logged in on here.
Oh.
Here we go. Let me see the full thing. Listen, again, yes, your point, there was a great critique. A great...
Actually, Obi-Wan does show up on this one, technically.
Yeah.
Just go back there.
None of these are... I gotta get a link that I can open. Here we go. Here we go. We're pulling up the new hot off the press following Please Don't Fake Me Out and not actually have the poster in said article. Here we go. Created by Matt Ferguson. Let me zoom in more than that.
Go back. You had it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
That's not it. That's not the full one. We probably look crazy to those of y'all who... This is not the full poster.
It will be.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
I just confirmed it. It's not going to be the full poster. See? See?
That's close enough.
No, it's not.
That's basically the whole thing. There's the narrow version and the wide version.
They'll be able to get the gist from... now it's not even going to freaking load. Ay. How long does it take... How many rocket scientists and Star Wars nerds does it take to find a freaking Star Wars poster, y'all? Here we go. Alright. This is the other one, that the official re-release to coincide with the Revenge of the Sith return to theaters beginning April 25th. Speaking of things that will sell out probably immediately. It's times like this that I wish we didn't live in the most populated freaking city. So it'll be a fight. It'll be the Hunger Games to get these tickets, y'all. But yeah, this poster's gorgeous. Both of these posters are beautiful, amazing, and again, I would never, ever come on my channel platform as an artist myself and try to knock another person's art, especially when it's really good. And the composition was amazing. Like I said, compositionally, I love that other poster. Where's Padme? Where? But Padme was also fierce. Yes, Alice. She had a gun. She could fight. We saw it in Attack of the Clones. Agreed. I think, because it's Revenge of the Sith, yeah, she was pregnant, and the Padme that we saw who was in action, was dominating, took the back seat because she was about to give birth. So it's fair. But yes, I just that is not the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to the Padme erasure. But it gets we'll still see. I don't know. I don't give any credence to these rumors that were very fleeting that she's going to appear in Ahsoka season 2. Now, one thing though that it does excite me, and I realized today, Anakin Hayden's not just there for Revenge of the Sith. I imagine he's probably there repping Ahsoka season 2 as well.
Probably be a part of the Ahsoka panel that we could start talking about.
Retro. Y'all are... All the callbacks to our inside jokes here. Padme's tax evasion storyline got cut. There's a nice scene.
Start talking about Padme,
Palps
tax evader Amidala. Because
I can't even finish it. Where Palp uses Padme's opposition to turn Anakin against her, which makes more sense than him randomly thinking she was sleeping with Obi-Wan. Woo! Yep, don't get Tom started on
Get that
Padme's
galactic
taxes.
IRS on her. Even in her tomb, her estate.
Anyways, yes, Ahsoka panel. Let's get back to the subject at hand. Padme is almost never featured in Star Wars media, says David. I'm still shocked she was never in Battlefront.
True. Very true. There's a lot of heroes I never had in Battlefront. So, panels. There's a leaked...
Never forget what they took from us.
Leaked list of the panels that will be happening Celebration. And we would like to discuss...
I didn't know this was leaked.
You didn't see this list?
I didn't realize that was leaked.
Well, I couldn't find any official confirmation for it.
Oh, well,
Might be on the website or something. Might be on the website or something. Like, people are treating this like it's real, and it kind of makes sense that it's real.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But this is also what anyone could guess.
Well, yeah, there's not a lot of options.
Yeah.
So, the rumored, we'll treat it as rumored, the rumored list is that Friday there'll be a panel all about The Mandalorian and Grogu. Then Saturday there'll be Andor panel and an Ahsoka panel, and then a Visions 3 panel on Sunday. So for Mandalorian, I mean, we're kind of talking about Ahsoka, so maybe we start with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I think personally, Ahsoka is the one that I'm the most intrigued to see more of and learn more about. Because when we've been talking about Ahsoka on this show, I think you and I are on the same page that with Ahsoka, we have the least idea of what could possibly happen in season 2 relative to all the other Star Wars shows. Andor, we know where it's going to end up. Mandalorian, you could argue that we don't know per se, but they're still in the same galaxy with the same confines. But Ahsoka, we've got the main character and her Padawan and her master and these other people and the Mortis gods all on this other galaxy that no one has been to in thousands of years since the Night Sisters came from there to this current galaxy. And then the hyped up big bad of the entire Star Wars universe in this time period is now back in the Star Wars universe with Ezra Bridger, who sent him to this other galaxy 10 years ago. And now he's back. And what is going to come from that? It's like Ahsoka, we have that baseline, but what could happen from there? Who knows? Literally, who knows? So I think getting to learn more about what could happen in Ahsoka season 2 is probably what piques my interest the most out of all of those panels.
Realistically, how much would they even share? Because unlike previous Celebration when Ahsoka had been filming for about a week, literally, if that, and they already had a few snippets of footage that they shared at that celebration. Was that in London, I guess? When the frick would that have been? Yeah, London, probably. What? No. Whenever that was. The timeline in my head is scrambled, but unlike that, the prior, pre-Ahsoka hype at a Star Wars Celebration where they were able to show footage because they'd been filming
at Anaheim,
briefly.
They showed footage.
Thank you. That's what I'm asking. Which celebration was that?
But it was right when they started filming.
That's
so it was
what
a quick teaser.
Yes. But they had something. Unlike that, they are not filming. They're not going to start filming Ahsoka, I think, till later this year, no?
I don't know.
So I don't think they have anything
I don't know.
yet. Something that could be interesting. And everyone's chiming in. I like to see, okay, the Ahsoka hype's out there. Ahsoka Season 2 is easily my most anticipated thing from Star Wars. Well, of course, Chop. I hope we see more of you next season. We were robbed of... We need more Chopper screen time. Which I imagine we will get, because I felt that way about Hera as well in the first season, but now that Ezra's been reunited, hopefully we get more of him collaborating with them, and also frickin' Zeb. Where the frick is Zeb? The Zeb erasure.
Zeb was in
I know he's off.
Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, he's off doing stuff with the New Republic. But
is that what that was, or is that it was?
That was made in season 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Can't wait for the leaked clips on Twitter. Says Chop. I know for once I'm so freaking excited to not have to like scramble and like scrounge for morsels um of anything, because they've released all this hype stuff, exclusive content at Celebration, and then nothing to the rest of society for another 2+ years. So I can finally stop complaining about all that. But one opportunity I think that could be amazing that they might address following the rumored, has this been officially, I don't know if this was officially announced or if this was also speculation on Star Wars Twitter, the recasting of Ray Stevenson's Balin's Skull. And what that could entail, and the rumor that I always forget his last name, but Rory, the actor who played the Hound on Game of Thrones.
Rory McIlroy?
Yes. Irish. No. Don't fake me out like that. That's the only other Rory I know.
Yes. Rory McIlroy.
His name is Rory, right?
Rory McIlroy is a professional golfer, for those who don't know.
No, I'm getting it so wrong. His name's not even Rory, probably. The Hound. Sandor Clegane. Fricking load, Google. Sorry. Played by
McCann.
Rory McCann. Okay, so I was right. I was
Rory McCann.
A little bit right. Anyway, this was rumored. I don't know if this was ever officially confirmed by anyone at Star Wars, that he would be replacing Balin's Skull, which to me speaks volumes, and I feel like it would be worthy of conversation at Celebration for an Ahsoka panel. And even if they brought him out and introduced him, I don't really know what the air around that should be, or how they would handle it, or if that's in bad faith necessarily, especially because Ray Stevenson had such a big, awesome like introduction at his Celebration before Ahsoka released, and he just had such great energy and was so, you could tell, excited to be there. So I don't know if they would do something similar and bring out, here's our recast. And I know we debated before, like, you know, after this was all fresh, what we thought would be the best recourse for the show going forward. And to me, if a recast actually is official, it means Balin had a much larger arc in store that there's no way possible that they could have worked around. The Hound is playing Balin, says Ty. I think he would do a great job. I think, based on his performance in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's got the presence, he's got the physicality.
Yeah. But it is still sad. I agree. And I originally was in favor of, if there's a way that you could navigate around it, or if Balin's character meets his end in the show, you know, somehow try to, I don't know. But to me, if they actually recast it, perhaps Celebration would be an opportune time to discuss that, share more about, you know, what's in store for Balin, Shin, you know, that storyline, Anakin in season 2. Because I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere. The Anakin, especially because those were some of the highlight, and he's built like a tank.
You don't think Anakin's going anywhere?
I don't know.
He's not. You're right. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I know you believe that.
A pivotal role in the second season. If Mortis is getting involved, which is literally what they've set up, he's the father. And Ahsoka's the daughter. And is Rory McIlroy going to be the son? Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. He wasn't just a villain. Balin had such depth. He did. Like, I really believe there's goodness in him, which is why it made it fun to watch him, you know, face Ahsoka, because you know he had genuine respect for her, and he was like honored to even engage in combat with her.
Yeah.
We're rewatching Ahsoka currently, and we saved it right for their first initial showdown in the next episode approaching. So I'm excited for that again, because I remember their battles were really epic. They had just great combat chemistry. Yep. I don't know if that's a terminology in the stunt world, but just their rapport together in their showdowns was really awesome. And it is such a shame. It's just, that whole situation it's still just so tragic, because he passed right before the show came out. So But I feel like Celebration could be an opportunity during an Ahsoka panel to discuss their plans for that, or to honor him, and I don't know, establish what they're gonna do, how they're gonna navigate that. But I imagine Dave had way more in store for his storyline. So
yeah, could be.
Do I know when Daredevil starts on?
Sounds like 20
no.
minutes.
Unfortunately, I don't. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Oh, well, on Disney Plus, probably 20 minutes.
Yes.
Who knows, Dobby? Who knows?
I'm rewatching Andor says Alice, and I cried in episode 3, and then again in another further episode. It's way better watching it this time. Agreed. It is so much better the second time around when you can get the full arcs as they're meant to be digested. And I cried again during Cassian and Marva's final goodbye, because it hits one way when you don't know that she's gonna... I mean, spoilers, the show's been out. It hurts more seeing them say their last goodbye. And Cassian being so confident that he thinks he's gonna come back and retrieve her, and then she passes. So that it hits differently.
Yeah. So one of the other panels is the Andor panel.
Yes,
while we're talking about
segue.
And that one, I think you and I were talking about it, and it's like, okay, the show's gonna come out 3 days later. See you, Bird Church. 3 days later. So it's not as urgent, I think, in both of our minds, to like see what they would have to tease. But I think what they could do, which is what they did at Kenobi, with Kenobi for Celebration in Anaheim 2022. Kenobi premiered literally the first night of Celebration. They had the Kenobi panel, and they actually screened the first 2 episodes at Celebration before, they went public on Disney Plus. So I could see them doing something very similar to that, where we have the panel, they hype up season 2, cast members are there, and then there's a screening of the first 3 episodes.
Potentially. That would be long, though, because for Kenobi, they only screened the first... Well, they did the first 2, right?
Yep. They did the same episodes that we're going to release on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So...
That's a lot, though. I mean, releasing the first 3 episodes... I feel like that's a little more risky than the first 2 for some reason, especially because with Andor, that's how the arcs are formulated. Yeah. It's like, there could be a lot of spoilers in the first 3. I don't know.
They did it for Kenobi. They'll do it for... I think they'll probably do it for Andor.
I will lose my mind,
so close to
Charlie.
It. So, I mean, I don't know what they would talk about. I mean, I think it would just be hyping up the series, like what they did in Anaheim. It was Kenobi panel, and they were just hyping it up. And then at that point, there's not much to really tease, because the show is literally about to come out.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a good reflection on the first season with the cast. But then, obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed, actually debuting the first 3 episodes, because they're going to release episodes 3 at a time. So
yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, I think in previous years it's been a lottery system. So I imagine Kenobi in Anaheim that year was the most coveted, the most difficult panel to get into. So I think it's going to be a similar situation this time around. But if I had to, surprisingly, yes, Andor's my favorite of the shows. But it's like, yeah, I can hold over until the day we get back from Japan. And the show actually comes out. So we'll see. Take it with a grain of salt, but Padme and Obi-Wan were rumored for Ahsoka season 2. Listen, anything can happen, y'all. And they always have a surprise up their sleeve. There's always surprise guests who make an appearance, an entrance, and the crowd goes wild. So that could be the case. I just hope, if I had to choose a panel, that I would hope they host one. And some announcements that I would like to hear. I would love for like an animation panel and for them to announce, here's the next slate of animated shows, because we are in a freaking drought there, y'all. What is the deal?
We're not in a drought there. We're in a drought in the theatrical movie department.
Okay, yes, but like
Visions,
that's been established.
Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. There's been so many animated stuff.
No,
relative to movies.
Okay,
we haven't had a movie.
Yes, they're probably going to discuss Visions because that's in the pipeline.
In 7 years.
That's officially declared in the pipeline. Yes, and they're working on it. What are they going to share? None of these are in production.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
How many years ago was that they announced all those movies? That was in London?
The third panel is literally the Mandalorian and Grogu panel.
Allegedly.
So, Mandalorian and Grogu will be the highlight panel of Celebration.
Well, that's true. Actually, they wrapped. So, you know what? They could have something to show.
They're going to have a full-blown trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu at Celebration. Almost guaranteed.
Full-blown trailer?
Yeah.
This show's not coming out till like 2026.
It's a movie.
Excuse me.
It's a cinematic experience. And they had an Ahsoka teaser trailer literally after 3 weeks of shooting in Anaheim. They will do the post-production and get a banger trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu for Celebration. That's got to be the staple event of Celebration. Yeah, even though they've still got like a year of post-production, all they need is like 2 minutes.
Maybe that means Pedro Pascal will be there.
And
is he currently filming? He's had a lot in the docket.
I don't know.
Julian, member for 37 months. Thanks so much, my friend. Congrats on 60,000. And I hope someone brings back Star Wars to where it was before Disney purchased it. Well, there was no Star Wars before. Well, okay, I'll take that back. What was going on in Star Wars before?
Clone Wars.
And that was it.
And insane levels of video games.
That actually is true. Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah, in terms of movies, none.
I mean, movies, none right now. We're back to it. We are back to pre-Disney acquisition. And how is it that the show, the film, excuse me, that got announced after all of those initial ones that were on the slate at, was that the London Celebration when they announced the Rey film, the Dawn of the Jedi, and a different Dave Filoni one? No? But is that Dave Filoni? We always freaking go in circles about that.
I don't know if that's the Mandalorian and Grogu.
That's not related, I don't think. Mandalorian and Grogu is a separate entity.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They've announced a million things, and we know that only 5% of the things they announce actually come through to fruition. So we can't think about what they have announced in the past. But Mandalorian and Grogu is actually, they have announced that, and there's the poster, and they have a release schedule. So we can be pretty confident now that Mandalorian and Grogu will actually be the next Star Wars movie set to come out. Is it this year or winter of next year?
I think it's 2026.
Is it?
I thought it was going to be this year, and then we literally had this
I think we looked this up.
Conversation like 3 weeks ago on stream, and I think people discovered that it's not till 2026. But at least there's some promise there. I mean, and that wasn't even one of the 3 films announced at that other celebration.
Nope.
So we are deep.
Unless this is Dave's, May of 2026, right before the World Cup.
Oh, 2026 is going to be stacked. So let's get it.
May 22nd, 2026, according to posts from April of last year.
I don't trust anything until we have a trailer, and we know that Star Wars loves to save those until T-minus like 1 month out.
But there was reports in December that it has wrapped filming. So
yes.
They will certainly, if they wrap filming at the end of last year, they will certainly have a full trailer come Celebration in 6 weeks.
So yeah, I don't expect any other feature film announcements, and frankly, originally, I feel like in the Star Wars, it's like there's a rumored theatrical project feature film by so-and-so famous director every other week, but I was more inclined to believe the ones at Celebration that was announced. Was that in London? I still do, but look, not a single one of them. They're all still in like pre-developmental stages, and it's Mandalorian and Grogu that wrapped. Now, Mando and Grogu already had its footing. They already had everything they needed, all the departments, everything associated with that show. you know, it already had momentum going for, so I imagine they could just pick right back up and get to it, because they already were on a filming schedule with that anyway. So I imagine they were like, let's just take this season and turn it into a spin-off. So it had advantages. I don't know. I talk as if I freaking know anything about film production, but I imagine it's easier there, as opposed to, okay, we're gonna establish a whole new, you know, the James Mangold film. You guys are, I think, correct that Dawn of the Jedi, the one that takes place like eons, you know, prior to the prequels, is, I think it's a very long chunk into the distant past.
25,000 years.
Yes. What's
The
an
First
eon?
Jedi.
How many years is in an eon?
I don't know. But it's about the First Jedi, allegedly. 25,000 years. BBY, allegedly. But again, until we see it,
Right.
add it to the list of things that may or may not ever come to fruition. I mean, there's been a ton of like leaked reports with the Kathleen Kennedy rumored retirement, and there's all these like quotes that I've seen over the last like week or so from her talking about these projects. I just saw them on X, so I don't know where the sources are, but they're allegedly all these quotes from her saying that, yeah, James Mangold is totally tied up with other stuff, so it's still very much in like development phase, and then talking about other movies and even like teasing like new movies, and like there's so much continuing on the same trend of talking about all these projects, but then
But
we
we're
don't
just
have any type of
paralyzed.
time frame or
Yeah.
schedule or idea. So most of them probably aren't going to come to fruition.
It just feels like we're stuck in this giant vat of like honey or like molasses when it comes to Star Wars feature films, and like the longer it
Well, that's
goes,
why the fandom is. That's why Star Wars is no longer mainstream, and why it's in the state that it's in today, because they gave up on theatrical releases, which is the bread and butter, cream of the crop of Star Wars 7 years ago, and since then they've gone to Disney Plus shows, but the Star Wars Disney Plus shows are not mainstream. We talk about this all the time. All of our Star Wars friends, Star Wars fans in our family and friends, they haven't seen any of these Disney Plus shows, but they love Star Wars. They've seen all the movies, but they haven't seen any of these shows. And the reality is, Star Wars is the main product is cinematic movie experience. And all these shows are great for all of us who love it and eat it all up, because it expands the world, it expands the characters, it expands everything. But the plots of these shows, all of them don't hold this anywhere close to the same weight as the plots in the movies. I mean, the highlights, when we were doing the Disney Plus show ranking a couple weeks ago, like the highlights of the shows are like, okay, yeah, all the Luke stuff and Book of Boba Fett and the end of season 2, like, yeah, Luke shows up and it's this incredible moment in Star Wars history for both of those. But outside of him showing up and just being there, like the actual plot, like he's not destroying the Empire like in Return of the Jedi, or he's not fighting Darth Vader for the first time and trying to save his friends from Imperial slavery, or he's not blowing up the Death Star. Like, yeah, he shows up and he has these great moments, but it's very small, intimate character type moments that he shows up, and it doesn't have the great grand scale weight to the greater galaxy. And then same with Anakin and Ahsoka. And Ahsoka's show, like that show is setting us up to be, yeah, there's going to be this galaxy-wide impact, but Anakin showing up doesn't have any, say, impact to that yet. Andor, we know that, yeah, they're leading to the creation of the rebellion, so like we're getting to, okay, we get to the rebellion, but then ultimately all of the threads of Andor lead to what happens in A New Hope, and they blow up the Death Star. So like the main events in Star Wars history are covered by the movies, and then all these shows are just connecting the threads, building the lore, connecting the dots. But we haven't had a true like main event, heavy hitting, knockout punch Star Wars lore moment that we get with Star Wars movies in 7 years.
Yeah, just kind of feels like we're just like stuck. And the longer it goes, the I don't know. The more just I don't feel hopeless because we've got Mando and Grogu, and I think theaters are going to be freaking packed for that. Because another thing that's disheartening is we've been on this drought, and some of the last films to come out were, you know, like Solo. It was an empty theater, like that felt dystopian.
The last film was
Rise
of
Skywalker,
Skywalker, and
obviously.
the theater was empty. If you compare the theater from even Force Awakens opening night, went and saw it.
Ugh.
Rogue One opening night, went and saw it. Last Jedi opening night, went and saw it. The theater for those three, completely packed. I mean, lines out of the theaters. Just freaking bull rush to get into the theater and get seats. And, I mean, just the absolute, outside of Avengers Endgame, which is the most crowded theater I've ever seen in my life. Those three Star Wars movies were, up until that point, the most crowded times I've ever been to a movie theater ever. But then Solo, ghost town. Rise of Skywalker, ghost town. Like, showed up opening night, there was like 10 people in the theater watching the movie. It was looked like you were going on the Wednesday afternoon to go see something with your grandparents, and there's no one in the movie theater. And it's opening night of a Star Wars movie. It was heartbreaking. And so since then, we've been in this lull where Star Wars is not mainstream. And the majority of people who like Star Wars don't even have Disney Plus. They have not seen all these shows. Which is very, very unfortunate.
Well,
so hopefully Mando and Grogu, we're getting back to the theaters.
Yes.
You can appease the diehards like all of us who have been ingesting all the Disney Plus products for the last 7 years. And you can also bring back that desire and curiosity and obsession with, oh my God, there's a new Star Wars movie and it looks insane. And everybody on planet Earth wants to go see it. Like, hopefully they can bring that back with Mandalorian and Grogu.
I think Mando and Grogu will 1,000%. Daredevil is about to start. Yes, Andy, we're gonna wrap it up here. We have our final poll. We can't have a proper send off without assuming poll positions here. We're cutting it down to the wire here, but will we get some new film reveals at Celebration to top it all off? 100% yes so far. Maybe. Listen, I would rather have, frankly, no film reveals and more just certainty. Hey, here's some concrete proof evidence that the films we announced years ago.
But they could announce way better films than the films they already announced. They're probably realizing, like, are these really going to appeal to the masses? And the reality is, no, I don't think that the films they have announced will do that. Because they're exploring new ideas and new things.
See you, Chop. Enjoy Daredevil.
Which is not going to appeal the masses of the majority of the existing Star Wars fandom, which only knows the 9 saga films. And maybe not even 9. Most of them probably only know 8 or 7 of them because of what happened with The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker and the tanking of viewership. But yeah, Charlie, there's a fantastic idea there of how does Maul know of Vader in Rebel Season 2 finale? Like, if you do something where it's a still following the legacy characters of the franchise in new situations, new timeline, that will instantly appeal to the masses. And then it's like, okay, we got to branch out, no more Skywalker saga, yada yada. But you can't branch out and expect the audience to come when there's no audience right now. But if you slap Vader on a movie poster and say, this is Vader, John Wick, a Star Wars story. John Wick is one of the most popular movie franchises of the modern era. And it's literally a dude running around saying 5 times a dialogue that's hilarious and killing everyone in the movie for 2.5, 3.5 hours, just slaughtering people. And it's incredible.
All for vengeance of his
Dude,
puppy.
all because of a dog that died.
But isn't that freaking amazing?
Saga.
The entire franchise, it still all has the same weight, the same vengeance. Because, like, yeah, every single kill count he accrues, that's for his freaking puppy that they all wronged.
So do with Vader. Oh, his wife just died. Have him go on a rage tour, slaughtering people because his wife is dead.
He wouldn't be doing that necessarily. Who's he going to be slaughtering that early after Jedi?
He's dragging civilians in the street in Kenobi 10 years later.
Yeah.
He's got to be pretty pissed off. Pissed off at Palpatine, pissed off at Mace Windu, pissed off at Obi-Wan, pissed off at Yoda. He's going to be pretty pissed off.
Listen, I don't think that will ever happen. Anything R-rated in the realm of Star Wars, I don't think will ever happen.
They did Kenobi and he's snapping necks. They did Acolyte and Shish Kebab Jekki and Neck Snap Yord Horde. Like, it's a pretty violent stuff.
Yeah, they enjoy neck snapping as of late.
So they could do it and it's not R-rated. Anyway, just saying. If you're, right now, given where we're at,
you're right, Alice.
Doing a post-sequel trilogy movie with Rey at the helm, it's like, okay, that's rinse repeat, basically, of what the sequel trilogy was, where, okay, the Empire fell and Return of the Jedi. Now we have Episode 7, where now there's this new threat, and the Jedi are coming back. And then now that new threat is eliminated, okay, so now we're going to go to Episode 10, and the Jedi are coming back. And now there's going to be this new threat. Like, that's a story that we've already seen. Yeah, new first Jedi 25,000 years in the past. It's like, yeah, that's a new story. But is that really going to appear to the masses? Because we're going to see, okay, we're going to see a Jedi and discovery of the Force, and then evil side of the Force. Like, we've seen that before as well. But to get like the people who are emotionally invested, I think you've got to have the characters that the emotionally invested too, because the characters in Star Wars are why it's so beloved, because they're so strong and the familial ties.
Yeah.
So
tell us how you really feel.
I don't think that the movies that they've pitched are going to be the even having Grogu on the movie poster. It's like, this is the thing that has sold Star Wars in the last 7 years. Little green friend, slap him on the movie poster. Yeah, I think it's going to way more appeal to the film Star Wars audience, and it's going to fill seats. But I don't think it's going to be a completely revolutionary Star Wars theatrical experience.
We have yet to see.
That ties to the greater, that features the main event in Star Wars history. But who knows? We don't know anything about it yet. Other than Rada the Hutt is allegedly in it, and Embo is the main villain. Which, if those things are true, this could just be Mandalorian Season 4, Episode 1, 2, and 3, and then don't even bother having it as a cinematic experience.
Can't think like that.
It could just be total red herrings, just to throw people off, and then we're going to get this potential panel and first reveal, and it's going to be absolutely insane, and that'll be awesome, and that'll be great, and we can all hope for that.
Well, we have still over a year for that, but now that Tom's gotten all this off his chest, most of y'all agree that potentially we will be getting some new film reveals. In the midst of all that, Alice asked a while ago if we're going to be streaming. We are. That's the game plan. To maybe not do live streams at Celebration. I want to be able to take it all in and be in the moment. But probably just immediately run back to our hotel room and stream in the evenings. You know, do a little daily recap, share some merch, whatever we bought. Talk about, panels if we were in them, and just share the experiences, the highlights of the day. Yeah, so we may be exhausted by the end, but I think it'll be fun as like kind of a vlog diary as well. Definitely gonna take footage while there, just might not stream while there, but definitely are gonna accumulate so much footage. Gonna be vlogging, gonna have lots of Celebration content coming up, and hopefully leading up. I gotta lock in and start making some of these jackets, so I started a new one today. Still have to publish the previous vlog for my Ahsoka jacket, so stay tuned for those.
Yeah.
I believe Daredevil is out, so we're holding y'all up. If you're gonna go watch it, enjoy. Thank you guys for giving us the rundown, briefing the crash course. I wish I had more time right now because it's in crunch time. Celebration mode here. We're getting ready. We're locked in. Just a little over a month out, but exciting stuff. So this was all speculation, as we said.
Yes.
No panels to our knowledge have been confirmed, but these, of course, you would think are naturally, Ahsoka and/or the show that's literally coming out the following week. So we shall see, and we'll of course discuss it when there are actual confirmed celebration panels and whatnot. Any other juicy details? But until then,
Yep.
Thank you guys so very much for watching from wherever you are tuning in. We hope you have a great rest of your day, night, morning, evening, 3 a.m., wherever you may be. Sending in my videos tomorrow morning,
Nice.
Kat, for 60K. Thank you, Charlie, for the final reminder. Yes, please do. If you have anything you want to share and send in, you have the whole rest of this month, so I'll keep reminding you all throughout week after week. But please do send any submissions you are willing. And as always, there's no pressure, no obligation whatsoever. Obviously, if I mandated that every 60,000th person here had to send something in, we would be here for a while. So, no pressure, of course. But that said, I'm not putting a cap on it, so send away. And I'll continue to remind you guys going forward. But until then, hope you guys are doing so well as always. May the Force be with you guys. And we will see you guys again very soon.
The one movie we didn't talk about.
Oh, Jesus. No, we're done.
It's Dave Filoni's mystery movie.
We're done.
And that could be like the Avengers of post.
Why do you
original
let me
trilogy
do my whole freaking
era.
outro? We're going to log off, y'all. Let's save that for next
So
week.
that one is enticing.
We're going to log off.
That one's still there.
Join us next week and maybe we'll talk about that.
We shall see.
Bye, friends.
Have a good day, night, morning, 3 a.m., wherever you may be. We'll talk to you guys later.